I'm trying to focus a lot on this podcast. I'm trying to really do well with this technology. So, yeah, nice one, Rez. Clump, clump. Tong, 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 paki. Alam mo yun? Every day we have to work. Every day we have to dance it out. I literally called some of my friends, right? Na, sige, ako na lang yung ginipig. Para yung mga bata, di ko na sinabi yung part na to.
Siomai rice, siomai, siomai, siomai rice, siomai, siomai. Ako ay nagugutom, gusto ko siomai rice. Siomai rice, siomai, siomai, siomai rice, siomai, siomai. Ako ay nagugutom, gusto ko siomai rice. Ayy, show my rice with the grits and beans. Stepped out the house, yeah, I'm so clean. From ATL to the Philippines. Show my rice, it's yummy. Show my rice in my tummy. Show my rice when it's honey. Show my rice whenever I need. Yeah, show my rice. 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 Ayy, show my rice. Ayy, show my rice. Show my rice. Show my rice, show my rice, show my. Ako ay nagugutom, gusto ko show my rice. Show my rice, show my rice, show my. Ako ay nagugutom, gusto ko show my rice.
Marami talagang kulang-kulang sa what we think of as groupthink, what we think of as society, quote unquote, and like this yung kinabibilangan nating community. I'm just gonna get down to what I really want to say today, without as much trying to hold back. Yun, marami talagang kulang-kulang sa culture, and it's never gonna be complete anyway. Whoever said that it's gonna be a complete culture, sino bang nagpasok sa atin ng mga ganong tipong BS, 'di ba? Na parang magkakaroon mo daw, ano ba yun, fantasy ba yun na magkakaroon ng sobrang perfect na reality kung saan naka-upload yung lahat ng wish mo, tapos yung lahat ng wish mo nangyayari in a snap. It's never gonna happen like that, really. It's never gonna be, never ever mangyayari na ganun ka-perfect. And even in ourselves mismo, you actually think that everything is perfect. And this is exactly why you should listen to someone like me. I don't want to sell myself as like something of an important person. I don't want to sell myself as someone who's reached the top. I have not reached the top. I don't believe that, I don't actually believe that I'm going to the top, right? I am in a constant personal battle to really figure this out with the immediate digital community that seems to be parang getting attracted to what I'm doing here right now. And it's very unfortunate if you are sanay sa ibang kultura, sanay sa ganito, ganyan, sanay ka sa noontime show kind of format. I think it's very unfortunate for other people to be experiencing this with me right now. This kind of consciousness sharing, and at the same time yung hindi mo naintindihan yung pinagsasabi ko. I mean, you don't know what I'm all about, and you don't know what this format of content creation is all about. Wala ka man lang idea, never mo inisip yung paano ba ginagawa yung ginagawa mo, para ka na lang laging excuses, man. Excuses, bro. Like little girls. Never mo ba naisip na, oh nga, no, tama yung sinasabi nila. We are all sort of being reactive, 'di ba? Na may nangyaring ganito, magre-react ka. May nangyaring chismis na ganito, may screenshot na na-leak, may parang bagong setting, magre-react ka. It's almost always a reactive thing. What does that tend to, saan ka nun dinadala, 'di ba? 'Di ba dadalhin ka nun sa pag-iisip na yung pagiging buhay mo is just so that you could serve this system and make you a battery, 'di ba? Human battery. Huwag mo na nga tawagin sarili mo aso, 'di ba? Parang you don't even, I mean, nagdadamit ka naman, at the end of the day, may bago ka namang isusuot na bagong labang shorts, bagong labang, 4 or 3 pieces of damit. Nakakapasok ka rin naman sa aircon paminsan-minsan, nakakagamit ka ng motor, nakakagamit ka ng kung ano-anong pwedeng i-share nyo sa pamilya nyo. And then, but why kulang, 'di ba? Bakit kulang-kulang, 'di ba? I remember nung nagpaayos ako ng isang kagamitan minsan, pumunta ako sa almost said Banawe. I don't almost always go to Banawe. Pumunta ako sa Espanya. Dinala ko yung synthesizer, keyboard, piano thing ko na vintage galing sa Pierre. Nadala dito nasira, or like may something lang sa knob that annoys me when I'm playing it, right? And I was using it para makagawa ng isang musical album dahil marunong naman ako gumawa ng album. Di naman ako yung tipong yung basta kung ano na daw yung napakinggan dati, yun na yun, tapos yun na lang lagi yung iniisip. At medyo parang kulong-kulo na sila dun sa parang ganong style of music. And medyo umabot na sa point na talagang sinasamba na nila yung what everything it represents, what everything. Wala man lang silang parang wala ka man lang, or ako nung bata pa ako, nung ganun din ako, wala man lang propensity to be like fucking question all these things and ano bang natututunan ko from this, ano bang natututunan ko from that. And that doesn't mean that I hate them. It doesn't mean that I can't be in a room with the creators of such. It's just I'm challenging those fanboys and fangirls to be like, ano ba yung pinagsasabi ng tao na to? Why does this person exist in my sphere of influence right now, in my learning space right now? Why do people allow for this kind of content to be out there, or to be on your Facebook, to be on your feed, right? At bakit ako nagsaswipe up agad? Bakit ang supot ko, sobrang supot ko, 'di ba? Bakit ganito, bakit ganyan? And it just brings you to this parang and then it brings you to this parang, damn. This is almost like music, right? This is almost like genius, right? And then you try to you try to get into that loop na grabe, may masusulat na ako, i-share ko sa crush ko, tapos magugustuhan niya na ako back. Tapos si-scene zone ka lang niya pagkatapos. May realize mo, grabe. Sana hindi na lang ako nang gaya, 'di ba? Sana inaral ko na lang talaga yung yung tunay na core system, so to speak, na sinabi nila nasa loob daw. Pumasok ako sa loob ko, nakita ko ba? 'Di ba? O mas marami lang yung tanong. O hindi ko lang, o parang mas may niloko lang din ako. And I'm sometimes really sorry if I'm struggling with the way I speak, the way I express. It's just that really sometimes naiinis din ako alam mo yun. I have to defend myself to people who say that masyado kang intense, man. Masyado kang intense. Or to someone who resonates with me right now, someone who resonates with this kind of content, right? Why are you so intense? Why are you like this? Why are you like that? And like and the answer to that, really, and any experienced person would say to that is, are you sure you're asking the right questions? Are you sure you're going somewhere with this line of questioning, with this weak sort of template, diba? Can we let's not use postulate. Can we parang assume in our scientific mind that we may have been poisoned by a weak template, the decoy template? And what does that mean for you as a Filipino, as a Bisaya, as a Ilocano, as a part of a political family, as part of a organization group that takes inspiration from other industries? What does that mean? Isn't it that we're always supposed to be thinking of meaning and giving purpose to our daily sort of lives? How is it that we are able to reach points of consciousness, yung sa tawag na, ayoko rin yung terminology na to, yung wavelength, yung parang, naabot ko yung wavelength mo pero bukas wala na ako sa wavelength mo. Or like, hindi kayo pwedeng magkita ng ganitong type of tao kasi wala siya sa wavelength mo. Hindi ko pwedeng i-share yung ganitong content kasi yung yung ibang tao, mas magaling ako sa kanila. 'Di ba? Saan ka lulugar sa ganong pag-iisip, 'di ba? And I think I've been thinking about this in terms of like expressing myself, in terms of like the world building, in terms of the rom-com philosophy that I'm really into, yung para bang lahat ba ng tao deserve ma heartbreak? I've said so myself in my sort of posts that a lot of the culture that follows this kind of dig is into so much into sobra-sobrang pagkalulong sa dark Disney and uh, being a pretty eunuch, and being a dark Disney follower. And what does that really mean for you, right? Mag-aaral ka na lang ng psychology because doon mo rin naman mahahanap yun eh. And for me as an artist, let's put it there, yeah. For me as an artist now, it really goes back to parang, ano ba yung kulang? What skill am I not practicing? Am I not learning? Am I not seeing? Ano yung tinatago from me as a creative person, as a powerful person trying to grow up into this whole scheme of things na everyday kong pumunta lang ako sa Facebook feed, nakikita ko yung kabayong nangunguna at yung kabayong nadapa at yung kabayong nawawala, 'di ba? Every single time that I am aware now that this thing kind of gets into my eye. What is this substance, right? Is this what is yung tinatawag nilang the basedness? Is this, and I'm not gonna lie, based is a coked out term, right? No, though I've never used such substances or I've never experienced, so to speak, such effects. And I've never felt the need to need it. Although there's that aspect, why is it that why is it na parang if I search deep inside me, it's always, and I'm speaking for you, I'm speaking for you, the listener. I'm speaking for anyone who's trying to listen to this or trying to download this, trying to get into this kind of train, this part of the train, and be able to resonate with the wordsmithing, the intellect, the implicity, yung mga hindi na kailangang sabihin bago pa makaabot sa ganitong tipong pag-iisip. Yung ganitong tipong pag-iisip sa English words, ang tawag doon, ang ibig sabihin nun ay mindset. Mindset para sa mga batang nakikinig, para sa mga mahilig sa rap, para sa mga gusto nila lagi silang na i-inspire ng mga mabibilis magsalita, tapos kala nila tumatalino sila sa sa mga ganitong tono, 'di ba? Subquest. um hindi ba? Di ba parang ganun yung excitement na nakakatalino? And I was, all this time, I may have been just leading you to this experience of excitement. Ano yung translation ng excitement? Di ba marami tayong translation sa ganyan? Ito nga yung problema ng pagpipilipino, or pagbe-base Tagalog. It's just always, almost always like, itong English word na to, pwedeng, it could mean this, and it could mean another thing. So, kailangan mo pang lutuin. Kailangan mo pang lutuin yung translation bago mo talaga maintindihan yung banyagang salita. Excuse me. I sneezed right there. Bago mo pa talagang ma-express yung banyagang salita, kailangan mo pang lutuin yung mga iba-ibang translation. Di ba yung parang, kasi alam niyo yung kailangan kong sabihin about that, yung problema na yun. It's because nga, wala tayong, it seems like even Rizal and even like all these translator scholars, all these smart people are trying to say is that, isn't it that it's either dalawa. That's where we need to be that mode in order to really study, right? Now, to really study that, you have to get into that mode, right? Yun nga, to be able to translate some form of word, na kailangan mo munang i-reflect towards dun sa sarili mong language. And then lulutuin mo pa yung mga examples na yun. For example, diba? Excitement. So, sa excitement, ang maalala kong mga Tagalog words is libog. Become base Tagalog kasama yung passion, because we always talk about passion. We always talk about energy. So it's all part of the excitement, diba? Or kilig, nasabi nila wala raw translation sa ibang wala raw translation sa ibang language. It's excitement. And maybe kilig, excitement, libog. Um, wala, yun na lang, apat na lang. So parang, kumbaga, kung aaralin mo pa yung when people start or show or display or gesture with excitement towards you, aaralin mo pa yung apat na yun, di ba? Parang lulutuin mo pa, so bukas mo pa magigets. Kailangan mo munang ilakad, kailangan mo munang itulog. Kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun. Pero, isipin mo, sa pagka-meet mo sa taong yun, pagka, pagka-flash pa lang sa'yo nung, ano na yun, nung speakage na yun. Is that a word, really? It's really like, some of you swipe away because, okay, alam ko na. Alam ko na. O, okay, nakita ko na. Nakita ko na. Right? But, how thin is that? How thin sliced is that compared to the whole dragon, so to speak? Yung kailangang buong dragon na makain mo, yung buong dragon na yun na kailangan mong maintindihan, kailangan ba talaga na totoo ba na kailangan yung scale lang yung madaplisan ka lang ng scale, okay na? Hindi yata eh. Hindi yata. Kailangan nata chill lang. Kailangan nata magka magka-idea tayo na, uy, wag naman ganyan. Kailangan umabot naman ata sa ganun. Uy, wag naman ganyan. Kasi yung iba talagang 60 na, bata pa rin mag-isip eh. 'Di ba? Parang ganun, 'di ba? O lambing nga naman. Maging malambing ka. Maging 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 generous ka. Lagi kang magbibigay kahit yung konti na lang yung pera mo, bibigay mo pa rin. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganong klaseng mentality ba? Saan ba galing 'yun, 'di ba? O kaya, uy, alam mo bang maraming nagugutom? Marami silang hindi sila makakain. Oh, tapos tapos sa ganito lang sila nakatirang klaseng bahay. What is that? It's all the effect of the big underlying factor there. It's all the effect of the internet. Because during the internet age, during the information age, ito lang yung time na meron na tayong eyes to see what happens beyond our own town. For the first time ever, this whole community, this whole like range of friends and cousins and clan members and classmates, you're all most times seeing the same freaking thing, and then sometimes we're all frozen by it. Oh no, we're all like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything about this, diba? I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in a place where I'm just gonna think na this is not for me. This is not for me, right? Di para sa ito, sasabihin nila. Di para sa ito, wag ka na dito, sasabihin nila. Sabihin nila ah sasabihin nila bawal sa ito, 'di ba? Sasabihin nila ay hindi mo kultura to. Hindi mo to lengguwahe. Hindi mo to abot, 'di ba? Boy, girl, 'di ba? Boy, girl, hanggang dito ka lang. Ito na yung limit mo. Oh. Pag nandito mo na yung limit mo, trap ka na diyan, kulong ka na diyan, 'di ba? Yun yung lengguwahe, 'di ba? Yun yung vernacular, yun yung cultural narrative, 'di ba? Paano ka ngayon mag-iisip pag nasa deadlock ka na, nandun ka na sa dead end? Gawin nating mas pambata. Alam niyo yung movie na parang na-stuck siya sa parang VR experience. Tapos the 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 water was fast filling up the container that she found herself in. So napupuno na yung tubig. And I have to say, this reminds me a lot with dreams, right? So napupuno yung tubig, and then she remembered she's powerful or something, and then nabasag niya na basically nag-sword art online siya, paalis dun sa setting na yun. She used her tools. She used her mindset. She used her focus, right? In order to be able to get that immediately into her system na para gumalaw yung plot ng movie. Hindi naman totoo yung movie na yun eh. 2, para bida pa rin siya. 3, para balikan niya yung sa love life niya. Para may love life na siya ulit, diba? Why do I sound sarcastic with that? It's because we all came from that. Pinanggalingan na natin yun. And what's annoying to me as an artist is this overlap, right? Is this overlap. Alam niyo ba yun? Yung feeling na ganun, yung magmahal ka ng dalawang babae, tapos parang sabihin mo, ba't ganun? Bakit may overlap? Ba't may time fold? Pwede namang wala. Sana wala. Diba? Sana wala na lang. Para di na ako nahihirapan. And you're like, di na ako nahihirapan, di na ako nagsasuffer. And then you get into all these like, because I suffered, I will do this. Because I suffer, I will harm other people. Because I suffer. Diba? Magkakaroon ka ngayon ng sarili mong philosophy. Magkakaroon ka ngayon ng sarili mong pag-iisip. Sinabi mo pa sa sarili mo na mali yung mag-suffer. Huh? No one ever said anything about that. Diba? Where does that come from? Do you ask? Do we meron ba talaga tayong kultura ng pagtatanong? At even better, make it into a content. Put it in a fashion where it could be dissected, it could be recorded, it could be appreciated by a lot of other people, by not just by you, but also a lot of other people. I think the very amazing thing about that is just realizing that we are in that time. We are in the, whatever you may believe, we are run by ideas. We are run by information. And a very old man said this recently that I was listening to, that human vessels are vectors for ideas. And I've been saying this all this time, right? The world of forms na sinabi ni Plato exists out there. It may be the third dimension, fourth dimension, whatever. But it exists out there, and it just so happens that this human body is the perfect, vessel for that. Ang sinasabi ng matanda na to, dinadala daw tayo, di natin alam, dinadala na tayo by ideas. Yung minsan abutin ka lang ng isang idea, it puts you on a freaking like spaceship kind of setting. And then makes you want to go. Right? But if this was just about me, diba? Kung sanay ka na sa akin, kung mahilig ka talaga makinig sa monologue ko, if like you're using it as a mirror thing, if you're curious about what the fuck is this person doing, right? If you're like that mag-isip, not a lot of people are like that mag-isip, because we're young. Come on, give me a break, man. I mean, I wanna do stuff right now. I wanna be someone right now, at least in the mirror, right? Sino pa ba yung ibang gumagawa niyan? TikTok people, dancers, mga artista, always practice with the mirror. Always practice with this make believe, or like this exercise na pwede mong ipaloob dun sa space between meron o wala, right? Isipin mo kung gaano ka kung gaano ka fluid yung experience na yon, na it will demand of you to bring forth adjectives, right? Parang kung wala kang adjective for that, this person is, if you're left with only a word management system that leaves you with adjective systems like ay pogi, ay maganda, diba? Ano yun, diba? Ano ba? Paano naging magic yun, diba? Paano naging parang katanggap-tanggap? So, sabihin mo na lang magaling. Hindi naman natin alam yung itsura ng magaling eh. Diba? Yung tunay ba na itsura ng galing na nagiging standard? Di yata eh. Lalo na sa Pilipinas. Saan ka nakakita ng itsura ng Pilipinas yung mukhang, diba? Yung lahat ng klase ng itsura sa Philippine setting, pag nakapunta ka na sa ganitong lugar, iba-iba eh. May mga magagaling na, maganda lang. May mga magagaling na kulang sa height. May mga magagaling na laging maamoy ng laging may hawak na panyo. Ano yung mga ganun? Or merong mga magagaling na ganun lang yung galing nila hanggang dito lang. And why is it that sinasabi nila okay na yon? Okay na yan. 'Di ba? Ganyan hanggang sa ganyan ka na lang, 'di ba? Pero may phone 'yun ah. Nakakapili 'yun ah. Daw. Ano yun ah. Nakaka kumbaga they're also rolling the dice, right? Right? Excuse me. They are also rolling the dice. They are also playing the game. But it seems like the game doesn't give you the right equipment if you don't know where to go, who to ask, who to challenge, and how to get over the stages. This is important. This is important in the base Tagalog theory of everything. The base Tagalog theory of everything is a Shinto angular approach into studying the Tagalog language or the Tagalog history or that and then it postulates immediately that Tagalog already sounds like this. If it sounds like this, then kailangan natin magkaroon ng consensus sa mga paggamit ng trending onomatopoeia, yung laging naririnig na yun, para meron tayong panlaban, meron tayong defense, meron tayong sistema against this thing that has eaten up our whole lifestyle. And it's also a lot of other things. It's also like a panligaw, you wanna impress your girlfriend kind of thing. You wanna impress your mom. Hey mom, I learned this new word. It's called onomatopoeia. It means it is what it is. It means what it sounds like is what it is. The boom, the bap, the gang, right? The effect, 'di ba? Yung pasok. Yun, pasok. O, pasok ka na. Pasok ka na. Ito na. Ay, nakapasok na. Hmm. What then is like a good way to express a theory of everything? Babalik ako dun sa sinabi sa akin ng mga mentors ko na pag nagsasalita ka, pag nagpapagbigkas ka, pag bumibigkas ka, kung minsan mang isipin mong bumigkas, isipin mo na rin na hanggang sa dulo, papangit ka. Kailangan ma-expend mo lahat yung buong energy mo, yung buong being mo, yung na-impact mo, yung abs mo sa likod pati sa harap. Dapat sila maging parang alam niyo sa Baki the Grappler, yung ina-animate nila yung muscles na maging pangit. Ganun. Tapos biglang magsasalita na. Magsasalita na, diba? Ang dami pang camera angles. Ganun. Yung mga tao talagang marunong bumigkas, dati, nagagawa nila yun sa setting ng universidad. University. Pero hindi mo ba alam na nasira na yung idea of university nung around 2017? Hindi ba pinublish sa school nyo na sirang-sira na yung idea of university? Kasi ang mga tao nakakabuntis ng 17 years old pa lang. I'm gonna be 17, 18, 19, may alam na yan na suicide, na buntisan, may alam na yan na ganitong kung ano-anong mga life problems, right? So, ba't mo pa sila tuturuan ng college? Gumagawa na sila ng buhay at this point of their lives, 20s, early 20s, even the 30s, right? But hindi naman expected magkaroon ng university level na pag-iisip yung mga 30s na katulad ko diba? Iba yung expectation sa amin, pero expectation sa mga bata, diba? Wala naman nagsabing bumuo kayo ng bata, ng ibang life. Kasi iba ata yung dapat binubuo ng mga kabataan. Para sa akin, expression. Para sa akin, innovation. Para sa akin, dapat pag habang bata ka, mas meron kang parang propensity para magkaroon ng yung parang volition ba na mag-aral ng kung ano-ano. So, sino yung mga gumagawa ng ganun? Or sino yung the opposite of that, which is also nice, sino yung nagfo-focus sa ganito? Now, one of the biggest criticisms of mine of the culture na kinalakihan ko na medyo nababago na ngayon kasi we're very optimistic about it is yung kasiraan nung past. Yung pagsira na, problema nyo na yan. Diba? Pag sira na, meron naman akong may bukas naman may papasok ako doon, nandun yung crush ko. Nandun yung boss ko kasi minsan babading-bading din ako. Okay lang, kita ko yung boss ko. 'Di ba? Okay lang, pwede ko namang tawagin na mami yung boss ko eh. Mami boss, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Daddy boss. Oh. So, laging ganun, bossism. Tumatalino ka na, ngayon tumatalino ka na, magaling ka eh. Ano ka eh, nakikinig ka ng hail. Tapos nakikinig ka nung bata ka, ang pinapakinggan mo, River Maya. Magaling ka eh. So, naisip mo na yan. Wala ka nang ibang maisip. Lahat mo nang iniisip, komportable na lahat. Tapos, ayaw mo nang kumita ng mas marami. Kasi pag kumita ka ng mas marami, alam mo na mas marami din yung problema mo. Tapos, ipit ka na, stuck ka na. Kasi, may mga tao sa buhay mo na inggit sa'yo. Na alam nila, pag umangat ka sa buhay, sisipitin ka nila. Clump! Clump! Tong, 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 pakitong, kitong. Diba? Mabuti nga hindi na inuulit-ulit yung kasamaan ng mentality na yun ngayon eh. Mabuti nga eh, diba? Mabuti nagkakaroon na tayo ng bagong cultural narrative. Mabuti nga eh. Mabuti nga may mga sumusuway na sa atin eh. Merong mga tao talaga na subtle. They're very subtle about they're like you were wrong. And they're nice about it too, right? They're but all they're saying is like your culture doesn't work for us. Your past didn't matter to me. Your what you think you know yesterday, what did you think you knew yesterday, di masakit. Sakit sa'yo yan. I remember I went to this pilot friend of mine. Matagal ko na siya kaya kakilala since grade 5, grade 3, grade 5, ganyan. Alam mo yun, pag mga ganun kaibigan mo, sometimes you go up to them, malayo pa lang kilala ka na, alam na nila yung gusto mo sabihin. Pagpunta ka sa kanya, binati ko pa lang siya. Sabi niya agad sa akin, fucking hardcore, dude. Sabi niya agad sa akin, parang sinabi ko kasi masakit eh, parang ganyan. Nasaktan ako eh, parang ganyan. Sabi niya agad sa akin, ba't di mo ba kinaya? Di ba, So, and then it came fucking right after. Kakasabi ko pa lang na to, sinagot na agad ako. Hindi naman sa bastos, syempre kaibigan ko yun. Hindi naman sa bastos. Parang lang. Parang nagulanta yung ba yung word? Nagulat lang din talaga ako na pwede palang magsalita ng ganong kasakit agad sa mga kakilala mo. What does that do? It trains the mind. Apparently, it trains the mind to learn, to get itself get itself sort of off a high na okay lang. Hindi kasi okay lang eh. Hindi talaga eh. Alam mo yun? Every day we have to work. Every day we have to dance it out. Every day we have to be part of what we think is correct, what we think is right. Because if it wasn't right, then it wouldn't work and it wouldn't be there for people to get into, for people to enter, for people to vibe off of and to listen and to like to a lot of people say this, a lot of really great guys who we follow actually say that the opposite sometimes is also true. In the government, what if 90% mean well and 10% are just corrupt, right? What if during this president's term, it was actually great? It was actually better. Things actually worked. And now, konti na lang yung kalaban. It's your fault, and it's your fault that you believe otherwise. That you believe that it's not working. Where are you going with this, right? Why are you complaining like that? Ba't ka nag-iinarte na ganyan? Bakit ganyan yung tono mo? Sino ka ba? Or saan ka ba galing? I should have started with that, right? It's, we're all coming from hurt sometimes. We're all coming from this and that. Yung sabi nila ganito. It's one way of telling people these monsters still exist. These kinds of, not persons, ideas still exist out there. Ideas, practices. And you should be scared. You should be scared because the men around you who are responsible, who are leaders, they have in them, I think sana, yung propensity ulit na magtiis para hindi umabot yun sa point na kailangan na nilang dalin yun sa bahay with them. Kailangan, nandun lang somewhere lang, nandun lang. Malayo pa. Malayo pa raw. Ayun. Yun na lang yung sasabihin mo sa sarili mo. Malayo pa eh. But, if you are able to process that, if you're able to accept that, parang ano yan eh. It's constantly, you have to learn to flow with it. You have to constantly be honest with it. Like right now, I'm having allergic reactions to the temperature change. I shouldn't have worn this, right? Because it would create for my body, an imbalance that makes me sort of annoyed with the body that I got. Kasi yung katawan, konting pagbabago lang, nag-iiba na agad yung setting niya eh. Diba? Yung mga umiiyak eh, na ano lang yung katawan ko, na shock. Nasya-shock sa, nag-re-adjust, you know. I grew up with this eh, yung parang, dati nga, alala ko, buong event sa covered courts, runny nose ako, sipuning bata ako yung parang ganun. Ako yung parang hatching ng hatching, ganyan. Pero okay lang ako, hindi ako, nagsusolve pa nga ako nun eh. Pero, diba, mismong yung mga ganong bagay, nasa loob pala natin. Allergies, lisps, habits. To be totally honest, I kind of miss having this allergic sort of reaction, diba? And dala lang pala yun ng pagsusuot ng ng kapal, depende lang pala sa kapal. It's like emotion is different pa
from what your body tells you, what your body needs. Iba pa yung drama. Ganun pala yun, no? Iba pa yung drama sa yung pangkatawan lang. Kumbaga, iba pa yung iniisip mo dun sa drama side, yung arte or psycho shit, o dun sa talagang kailangan lang ng katawan mo. Same way that iba yung time sa budget, sa pera, sa kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. These are all factors that you can, once you learn, once you perfect, sasabi nila magiging master ka at something. At something, at like magagamit mo na, ganyan. For me, it's just, I'm coming back to the fact that, are you aware? Are you aware that this is being used to disrupt and create waves, create real sort of industrial level action. Sa business, ang tawag lang naman dyan is demand creation eh. And by doing this, by being the guinea pig for this, I literally called some of my friends, right? Na, sige, ako na lang yung guinea pig. Para yung mga bata, di ko na sinabi yung part na to. Para yung mga bata, makita nila yung itsura ng guinea pig. Yung guinea pig, yung cute na rodent, na minsan mahaba yung buhok, minsan may mohawk, di ba? Sabi ko, sige, parating na pala yung industriya na yan. Ako na lang yung guinea pig. Ako naman lagi eh. Parang ganun. Ano ba yung ganun na, galing mo talaga. Ano yun? Parang, and which I never get. I never get from like friends or I never get for even family, mga kapatid, ganyan. Wala. Magaling din sila eh. Diba? Kayang-kaya rin nila yun eh. Ginagawa pa nga nila sa ibang bansa eh. But sometimes, for me, yung mas pambatang impact is like, kailangan ma-explain mo in all these different types of colors. Red, blue, fuchsia pink. Kailangan, you're not just black and white. You're not just, sometimes you're just home. You're just at home. You're just, andito lang naman sa kuta. Hey, why should I fuzz? Why should I, why should I matter? I suffer, you suffer, everyone suffers, man. Everyone knows life is suffering. But how to suffer is the main process, is the main game. How to suffer right, to be able to stand up pa rin at the end of the day and own up to what type of stuff you're doing at home, what type of stuff you are able to create for other people. Are you the type who likes to edit things? Are you the type who likes to, I'm always like this sa video side of things? Or are you the type who generally wants to care for humanity? Diba? Generally wants to give away feelings. Ako ganun ako mag-isip eh. Parang sana wala na lang ako feelings pero pag gusto ko na magtrabaho, trabaho lang. Pag gusto ko nang mag-focus, diba parang ganun eh. Minsan, pag nagyayabang daw ako, ito ganyan eh. Kinikriticize ko mismo sarili ko, kinikriticize ko sarili ko. Talaga. Even my podcast that weren't, the other episodes that were weak, that didn't merit the full attention of people, right? What, instead of training myself to think about kung ano yung problema ng mga tao na yun, I'm just talking about audiences. Kung ano yung problema ng mga tao na yun, baka it's with me. Baka talagang pangit ako eh. Alam mo yun, baka talagang alien ako. Diba? Parang baka talagang mahirap explain kasi nga wala tayong yung vernacular, yung parang adjective systems na pwedeng buuin para ma-describe yung ganito, ganyan. Kasi di ka nagsusulat eh. Wala kang papel eh. Ako lagi, 'di ba? Tapos lagi na lang ako, lagi na lang ikaw. Yung ganun. Lagi na lang ikaw, ba't ba lagi na ikaw? Ako naman. Ako naman, kaya nga tayo naka-Zoom call para habang turn mo, isipin ko na yung pambawi ko, tapos babawi ako sa'yo. Diba? Kasi mahal kita eh. Diba? Bakit ngayon? O ngayon, nag-agree ka eh. Sabi mo, hmm. Pag nag-agree ka, it leads you almost always to the next question. And the next question may be a mix of that. Parang ang pagkaintindi ko sa questions, spilling the secrets here. Ang pagkaintindi ko sa questions is they're like colors. If you mix a color with another type of color, it creates for you a different type of question. But then within the question, nakapaloob dun yung sagot. Obviously. 'Di ba? Pag nabot mo na yung sagot, dun lang dun lang ma-fire to the next one. And people scientists found out that neurons work this way. That unless you can practice this 5 times, 3 times, 4 times, you will have weak neurons. You will have the weak body template for yung design. Hindi mo ma-unlock yung mas magandang design. You will start to fail once kaharap mo na. Diba? And the reason you're continually failing, you're being reminded about failure, you're pinapaharap sa'yo mismo na wala ka namang magandang nagawa eh. Diba? Kaya yung ginagawa is so that you could be stronger. So that when you're stronger, I hope na hindi ka nababalik dun sa dating mali. Mali na nga yung pinanggalingan mo eh. 'Di ba? Mali na yun kasi yun eh. Show yun ng mga magagaling na eh. 'Di ba? Yung magagaling na yun, talagang sabihin mo nang they are gods of media, they are gods of social ganyan. Obviously, helped a lot of people too. Obviously, sort of became inspirations for a lot of people. But the main criticism sometimes is pera eh. Sana hindi na lang naging about pera, 'di ba? Sana naging about na lang. Idol. Eh kasi idol mo na eh. Madali naman yung maging idol ibang tao eh. 'Di ba? Sabihin ba nun na hindi mo kayang lagay yung shoes mo dun sa shoes ng idol mo? Eh yung idol mo laging nag-express, laging nagpapakita. Araw-araw yung iba. Yung idol mo laging nasa radyo. 'Di ba? Halos maamoy mo na yung niya, breakfast niya. Minsan nga sasabihin niya eh, kung ano yung breakfast niya. Bakit yun importante, diba? Bakit importante na ganun mag-isip? Or, so, from there, always build the context around para fair. Para hindi naman yung parang kasi, tas period na. Wala namang ganun talaga eh. It's always a process. It's always like, halo-halo this, halo-halo that, konting ganito, konting ganyan, kaka-practice mo ng ganun, ano nangyari sa'yo? Evaluate. Diba? Hindi ka kailangan matakot dun sa words. Hindi ka kailangan matakot dun sa... Kasi, may kritisismo sa akin na, Tagalog na yan na yan, crazy na yan Where's that come from, man? Where's that come from? Like, is it fair to judge Tagalog like that? Is it fair to be Tagalog that way? Or are you confused between two things? Are you in transition towards realizing there's two parts of this? There's two parts of the nationality. There's two parts of the brain. There's two parts of the body, my left and the right. You know, pag nagdo-drawing ka sa kabilang kamay, talaga, pangit talaga. Yun yung pangit. Diba? Ito yung maganda, oh. Ito yung lagi kong ginagamit na kamay. Tapos minsan, sasabihin mo sa sarili mo, ito yung maganda. Sabi ko maganda eh. Selfish ako eh. Sabi sa akin ng mga idol ko, pag selfish daw, mas maganda eh. Pero, English word yung selfish, diba? English word. Ano yung, ano nun? Translation nun. Kuha tayo ulit. Sa Kim, yung sa kanya lang, strings makasarili, at lagyan natin selfish, inventor. Kasi selfish eh. Sa kanya naman yun eh. I'm being like the kid version of me here. I feel like a 15-year-old. Sa kanya naman lahat yun eh, diba? O yun, combine mo na. Yun daw yung selfishness. Saan galing yun? Galing yun sa mga gumagawa ng kotse. Galing yun sa mga unang-unang nakaimbento ng kuryente. Galing yun sa mga, so babacktrack ka ngayon, konti. Kasi, ganun lang naman ang pag-study ng time ng zeitgeist. Who were the main guys who invented the electricity? Sina Tesla. Sina gato, sina ganyan. Amazing as fuck, man. Like, and then, you realize, ba't laging ka nun? Laging may next. Because we're traveling. We're like, oh, ito na. Are we there yet? Right? Are you there yet? It's this sort of, diba? It's this sort of balance, or imbalance rather. I'm speaking of the imbalance that we find ourselves in as growing children, as growing men and women. It's always there. The way we mitigate it is really like, and the only way we mitigate it is through internet things, internet language. Diba? Pag sads ako, lagi ako nakikinig ng Yu Yu Hakusho. Mga twice na ako na ganun eh. Na yun yung ko, parang default anime ko, na pag gusto ko lang, it's like baby sounds to me, you know. Sana ma-hide ko ng maayos, but like now it's like, I'm sorry I'm acting like this. I'm acting now. I mean, I gotta put it out on a honest scale. Doing monologues is really hard, right? Hindi naman sa kailangan hindi naman sa may kausap naman talaga ako. I'm not like totally isolated, right? I'm okay. But like, coming down from all that, mahirap yung trabaho ng pala. I miss this. I mean, it's not like I've spent 10,000 hours or less in recording. It's just that when you are the podcaster, you are the GUI, you are the content, you are the expressor, you are the ganito, ganyan. And sometimes I think, damn, man, I think you're doing this way too early and you should stop. But a side of me is saying also, this is the way you go forward. This is the way that you walk in this digital space, or you walk with this spiritual world, or this yung sinasabi mong world of ideas. And like, now there's gonna be factors that you've never thought of coming to you, coming to me, that we have to process. And ang nakaka-irk lang naman sa akin dun is like, I think there aren't enough people doing it. Diba? Because if there were enough people doing it, bakit yung investment sa ganitong industriya, sweldo lang ng podcast producer ni Joe Rogan? Diba? And that's the initial investment. So that's the value of it. Na 2 months sweldo lang yun ng podcast producer. It's because you're not ready. That means that so few people are not totally walang demand, diba? Walang demand. No one wants this. You're here for another reason. You're here because you wanna, paarbor naman ng jacket or pag ganyan. Parang kinakatwiran mo pa na yung state mo, diba? So it's like state wars, diba? It's like, it's like, ganito ako, ganito, ganyan. You know, it's like, this whole rant right now is the idea that we are starting to hate on groupthink, but at the same time, we don't know how to individualize ourselves. We don't know how to. We don't have the technology to become, ano, sound individuals who are just this way, who are just. For me, the only way that this could be fair for you, for me, for you as a for you as a listener, for you as part of the audience is like to remember who I am, to really sort of understand, oh, this guy is the guy who's always been making nostalgic things happen and then bringing back the past and ganyan. And now I'm explaining to you, and then you can also read about it if you follow things through, that I have been all this time trying to explain that I think there's a historical time fold that happened. And now na naglalapat na yung dalawang sides of the fold, we're there, right there to study it. The people who can are studying it. The people who are responsible enough are first on that crime scene, right? Speaking of, in terms of history, di ba parang, sige, himay-himayin na natin to para yung iba makapag-benefit. Di ba? Para hindi na nyo masabi na minomonopolize, di ba? Para hindi mo na, walang makapagsabi na, na may evil na nangyayari dyan. Wala. Yun eh. Parang, ginagawa naman to ng ibang tao ah. Diba? They're allowed to do it. Why are you then, hindi naman sana naglalabas ako ng galit or something. It's just, you know how I am with my questioning. Kailangan nakasmile-smile konti. Kailangan ganun talaga. Binobola mo, pinaglalaroan mo. Yun yung language eh. So, why are you then talking this way to me? I don't deserve this, right? I don't want this content. It's because you are also empowered by a lot of things. You have the unfriend button, you have the cancel button, you have the reklamo button, you have the who do you call button, you have the ganito, marami. We are all equipped with all these postmodern sort of ways of doing things for ourselves, right? It is the internet, right? It is the way of the digital native, right? So do it. No one's stopping you from doing it. No one's wishing that you become frozen, diba? No one's trying to say that it's wrong to copy animated things. No one's doing that. It's all about free expression these days. It's all about diba? That's what they say. For me, in terms of the discussion right now, it's location. It is a connection. It is access and links. It is speed, velocity, acceleration. Mga ganyan, diba? Lahat naman yan naaaral eh. Lahat naman yan nasa slow down, lalagyan mo ng reverb. Lahat naman yan, diba? So gawin mo. And then you discover things. You discover na yung pleasure of finding little gems of great ideas in work. Finding little gems of memory na totoo pala. Na continually sinasabi, ito. Itong ganyan ng tao na to, makita mo lang na ganyan. Parang yung example ko na pag nakakita ko ng mga famous people, right? And I just look at them as a post-celebrity, right? I just look at people in the eye and I know if they're being bullshitty or if they're being a social climber or if they're being natural, if they're being soft, if they're being honest, right? If they have the capacity for that, if they have uh the the courage for that. Tapos yung yung nirereklamo ko ata dito is the way that in our language it's never discussed that it's sabog. It's like because ganito, because ganyan, because ganyan. Basta sasabihin, sana all pinapakinggan, sana all. It's all about, it's like reklamo-based na sabi ng mga, di ba, nakita nyo naman yung memes na gano'n na dapat, ang Pinoy daw reklamador, ang Pinoy daw gato, itsura, ganito daw, di ba? There's truth to that. There's truth to that, I think. It's just, now, I want to be able to say, as a Tagalog, as a based guy, that, hey, when you look at it with other lenses, there's grooves, oh. This can connect to this, oh. So when this connect to this, lagi na yan dyan na yan lagi, diba? That's how you piece the puzzle up. Eventually, 5 years from now, a bigger part of the puzzle is naaaninag na. So pag naaaninag mo na, ano ngayon yung reaction, diba? Ano yung ngayon yung tamang reaction? Yun yung gusto ko eh. Yun yung gusto kong buuin eh. Yung gusto ko ayusin eh. Di lang naman ako yung gumagawa nun, diba? And I just got to a point na talagang you kind of want to take it up to yourself. Sino ang gagawa? Yung tita mo sa States? Sino gagawa? Yung tita mo sa sa Hawaii? Tita mo pa rin ba yun? Diba? Tagalog pa rin ba yun? Diba? May pakipa ba yun sa mga Filipino? Meron ba? Do they pay tribute? Do they show reactions towards what we do here? Right? Do they know the location of where it's coming from? Do they care like that? Or do they just wanna pick the strawberries and then have some cream, slice and dice the kamatis, mga ganyan lang, mga domestic lang, diba? Uy, domestic lang, kuya. Kuya naman, domestic lang, nag-aaral pa kami ng psychology. Diba? Huwag nyo naman kami laitin. Idol, di naman kasalanan na lumaki kami sa pera at bayong. It's not like I'm saying that I've been wanting to say this. It's just really I joke around about this kind of culture a lot. Kaya nga pangit ko na eh. Kaya nga pangit ko na tapos 'di ba? Hindi Koreano na lang yung sundin nyo. 'Di ba? Pagkain nyo rin naman Korean eh. You get that kind of you get that kind of diba? I wrote about this, by the way. I wrote about this in the article number 2 that a lot of people confuse nationality with religion and like ethics and the way to act around, and I'm always, if you read some of my automatic writing, I'm always talking about this industrial ethnic cleansing. And I'm making progress, man. I'm making progress. This podcast is really part of the way to put it on a platform where it could stand on its own and like work itself out and at least be recorded and be appreciated for the future. And eventually I will translate it into like like I take pleasure from this. I take pleasure from suffering what other people can't suffer themselves because they are not equipped, because they don't have the language, they don't have the code. They were born of poverty, they were born of wrong teachings, and like they were inapi sila. So forever na silang naging ganun at naniniwala sila na forever na silang maging ganun. And I take pleasure from this, from getting the word out that I'm into now brain plasticity. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I think dapat pag-usapan ng mga Tagalog. Learning, psyche, right? Being reasonable, sending signals, making it clear so that the noise will not suffice. Making it clear so that even if as I grow up, I am allowed to express. I'm allowed to go ape shit. Kahit fake lang, 'di ba? Kahit you could say that it's exactly why this room was built. But then I could also say, lagi namang may rason, eh. Na kasi sa ganyan. I'm not there. I'm just in like full expressive mode to be the example for at least this show, the podcast, na expression is the one of the highest tenets of art. Expression is one of the highest, most important things that should be studied by teachers, should be practiced by teachers, should be passed on to students, should be like you know na kung sira lahat, we all come back to this sana all philosophy, right? Sabi mo sana all eh. 'Di ba? Di lumabas tuloy yung mga pilosopo, 'di ba? Yun. Yun yung sinasabi ng mga kabataan sa ibang bansa, yun yung pinagpa-podcast nila, yun yung sinasabi nila sa mga tatay nila, 'di ba? And for me, the Tagalog solidarity, habol tayo diyan, 'di ba? We grab some of that. We base ourselves on some of that as well because we can see that in us as well. We are also faulted for that. Hindi man tayo, are we shielded because we're in this archipelago? Kasi only in the Philippines, ganito only Philippines, ganyan. And then you get into a loop. Diba? Parang makikita mo, nga no, diba? Parang we're always in the loop na we're always exempt. Diba? We're always like, iba yung pride ko eh. Iba yung ano ko eh. Iba yung bato ko eh. Diba? Iba yung ano ko eh. Tapos iba yung mga kasabihan ko. Ako kasi naniwala ako na bato-bato sa langit, ang tamaan, wag magalit. Ilang beses ko na ginawa yun eh. May nagalit ba? May nagalit ba? Nasaan? Diba? Kahit naman magalit, nakaharap mo na ba? Nag-share na ba kayo ng tea? Together? Nilambing mo ba? Narinig ba niya yung iba mong, parang, alam mo yun, yung triggeran dyan is like, psh, 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 psh. Alam mo, parang lang kayo nag-water gun. Ganun trip ng mga matatanda eh. Trip yan ng mga matatanda. Ano yung trip ng mga bata? Paano mo, ba't kailangan laging opposite? Masteres. Hindi ako nagpapatawag ng ganun sasabi ko lang yung mga jokes na na naalala ko. Because memory is a great thing, when you juggle your memory, when you're like learning a lot, when you're I'm like this, I'm in a mode right now to be honest where kakagaling ko lang sa school, pauwi na tayo. Tapos ito yung papalakad pa lang tayo sa sa train. Tapos kung ano sasabihin ko ganun, tapos mapapainom tayo kasi seryoso na eh. Seryoso na, inom muna tayo. 'Di ba? Ganun yun, no? Ganun yun, 'di ba? And recently I've been like really joking about this type of thing because like I realized that I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be vlogging around. I don't want to be like like doing this video stuff. I don't want it. I mean I could do with just this, right? This is the future for me, right? Ito, yung thing na to, yung ganyan shaky thing. It's not that I'm saying that it's not also an art form. It's just that it's not for me anymore. Alam mo yun? There comes a time in a man's life where you have to do away with things that na sabi mo pambata na, di wag mo na gawin. Tapos tuturo mo sa iba. Mga ganun daw. Yung parang, isa na pupunta. Alam mo yun? Is it because sabi ni Elon Musk, medyo ngayon ko walang na-process eh. Is it because yung mga tao sa asylum are running the game? Are people really going crazy? Why are they going crazy then? Ano yung rason? I-express natin. Lagay natin sa TikTok. Diba? Isulat natin. Nakalagay sa Facebook, what's on your mind eh. What's on your mind? Di isulat mo. May makikinig dyan, may magko-comment dyan. Instead of killing yourselves over small ideas, instead of killing ourselves over the annoyance of not being united, right? Of not being like the same, not having solidarity. Merong solidarity, merong pagkukuhanan lagi. Merong mga nakatagong things, 'di ba? Kaya mga malalaman yung mga sundalo na nagtatrabaho sa ganitong season, hindi naman talaga sundalo eh. 'Di ba? Ano 'yun? Tatrabaho lang 'yun. Or like because, I'm just saying that because being Asian and being Chinese also our culture, may iba sa atin confusion pa rin eh. Or like nakapagbabasa talaga ng Art of War eh. Sabi ni Sun Tzu, dapat pag winter season, prepare lang ng prepare. So makikita mo at nagpapahinga. Diba? Alam inabot ni Sun Tzu 'yun, yung teaching na ganun. So, ikaw, makakapag-observe ka eh. These are the wise things that I get. These are pieces of the puzzle and I know its groove. These things don't even fit close with these things that I know that hold true, that work and are true for me and my brothers and sisters, and alam mo yun, that's logic. And now na pinapakita ng mga tao na pinapakita natin continuously na we take pleasure in watching and learning from people, exercising logic and sharing bits of the equation. Arte, no? Sharing bits of the equation, 'di ba? Nakikita mo, oo nga no. Kaya pala niya doon muna siya nagsimula tapos dadalhin niya dito. Eh kung napagod ka na dito, edi hanggang doon ka lang. Okay ba 'yun? Di ata eh. Dito na lang ako sa Dito na lang ako sa joke time ko, sa Erap jokes book ko. Why is that funny for me? Because I came from that. Yung parang dati, the shit yung Erap jokes, man. Yung Erap jokes na book, pag mayroon ka nun, kumpul-kumpul na kayo. Uy, pati naman ng next Erap joke. Diba? Tapos inuulit-ulit pa. Trending yun, mga 2 taon yung trending or 3 taon yung trending Erap jokes. Puro Erap jokes lang. Ganun ang kinalakihan namin, man. Puro ganun lang. Ano na kami nun, ha? Nakakakain kami. Maganda na yung cafeteria namin nun, ha? Pero ganun yung trip, diba? There's a lot of misconceptions about other bubbles, other worlds, right? And unless people can find out technologies that sort of bring out all these problems, so that people could understand each other more and share the pain around, unless magkaganunan, then things can always be monopolized by people who are fast enough, who are great enough. This is why content like this exists. This is why platforms like this exist. This is exactly why I think tools exist, because anong gagawin mo pala? Taga-bahay ka lang, naglilinis ka naman. Alam naman maglilinis ka forever, yung sobrang linis na, wala kang gagawing iba. Siyempre, magre-record ka. Recording addict ka eh. Hindi naman pwedeng tumigil ka na lang bigla. Hindi naman pwedeng lagi kang chill or lagi kang nang loloko or, diba? But minsan parang, ka rin, parang totoo ka lang. Dapat natural lang yung pagiging totoo. Hindi yung, diba? Kasi, meron tayong part ng kultura natin na talagang ginodiyos yung mga, ginodiyos yung mga imahe. Parang, hindi natin mabilang yung, and I take pleasure from this, from like, comparing like the scales, Dito, small scale lang sa atin. Sige, yun lang naman yun eh. Yun lang naman yung, I think, key dyan eh, na kailangan nating maintindihan. Dito, small scale lang eh. Third world country, developing ganyan. All these labels for like, to study the unfortunate circumstance we're in. If you can't accept that, at least, sana man lang, find a way to get yourself physically ready for what's after that, or, wishful thinking to the very sagad best of it. Dapat ganun. O, sige, tigil na natin to. Uh, Maraming salamat for listening. My name is Rez Toledo. I'm creating this new podcast show for guys who like really love listening to my stuff. I'm trying a lot of new things with it. I'm trying a lot of ways to express myself and be nice and be like be available. Be available. The thing is, I wanna sort of apologize. I'm sorry for the tone, right? Tone change and like I wanna apologize to people who sort of nabigyan ko ng clues or alam mo yun, parang I really wanna guest people. I really wanna be able to talk people and bring people back and bring people back into the space, to the show and join me and ganyan. Pero alam ko naman din na busy rin kayo, may iba tayong trabaho. I just really felt like I needed to do this monologic series because I have I mean well. I think I have to set myself up to mean well in order to really exercise my scientific mind, and it's a lot of crazy stuff, man. I'm digging really well into a high level podcast and like some low level music. Alam niyo naman yung style ko eh. But I really just want to express that I really appreciate the emotional and moral support and like may messes even. Alam niyo na yung may messes, 'di ba? Tinuturo ko 'yan, yung gaya-gaya. Because 'di ba sa mga sa mga gaya-gaya, pag naggagayahan sila, love 'yun para sa kanila eh. Eh kung tulad ko na lampas ka na dun sa love lang kind of Maraming ganyan eh. Usapan na to ng mga nakalampas na somewhere. Now, I'm just being honest, like uh kung hindi ka pa nakalampas dun sa love lang mentality, it's really like that na kung dyan lang kayo, sige love lang kayo dyan, maggayahan kayo dyan, number one, right? Number one, gaya-gayas. Right? So, lahat kayo one. Di ba yung gusto nyo? One. Puta, diba? May ba namang numbers, diba? Anyway, sorry. I'm not, I guess, don't be sorry for who you are is my main message. Don't be sorry for your current state. Express it. It's like, use the words. Gamitin niyo yung Tagalog. Gamitin niyo yung, magsulat tayo, di ba? Tayo. Maging creative tayo about it. Maging productive tayo about it. And ako na mismo yung magsasabi na there's always gonna be an effect. Kahit sa malayo, kahit sa because all these things, they create ripples. They create like, and you just have to trust that it creates a better environment. Right? So, yeah. I didn't mean to start it that way. It's just like I'm trying different practices and I'm trying, but in general, I want to invite everyone to join the Rezbt S Podcast Hub. It's just that string, Rezbt S Podcast Hub. It's a public group on Facebook. If you enjoy this kind of thing, I share a lot more there and I'll be seeing you more. And you can expect that I'm doing really well in this kind of format, this ganyan. And if I'm one of those guys who you really kind of want to be able to talk to and not anymore hide from, or like because we feel things, we're not stupid, we're not like so if I'm that kind of guy and you think it's the right time, let's just be careful around it. Let's just be like honest about it. About this whole honesty is what it's not. This whole honesty is what is being shared right now, so that we can build the trust philosophy, diba? Para magkaroon ulit ng parang righteousness and like maalala lang natin kung paano ginagawa yung mga bagay-bagay, paano pag-uusapan, paano ganyan. So, I'm all about that, I'm all about like changing modes, changing keys, changing gears. I'm all about strategy and like being able to exercise things. But that's one of the best things that I could really express na parang what has helped me get to dark times and get through dark times is just not only my mind, but like my heart, for having a heart in general for what is in. So thanks for being in. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Again, this is the last year I am dealing with my Someday Dream music. I just recently put out a single, and yun. And then now I'm trying to focus a lot on this podcast. I'm trying to really do well with this technology. So yeah, nice one, Rez. I'll see you guys in the next episode. My name is Rez Toledo. You're listening to the Rezbt S Podcast, the number one base Tagalog show in the universe.
Podcast. Tito Rez, matulog ka na later kasi baka manghina na naman yung tuhod mo.